Good Monday afternoon to you, Raleigh. This is Robert Courts coming to you live from your backyard. And this is our Monday COVID quarantine update with Dr. Susan Lovelle. Hello, Dr. Lovelle.
Are you, Robert?
Always great to see you, and you're always our steady lead on the COVID update. And we missed last week, so we got a couple weeks to catch up on. Um, you want to start with the numbers, please?
Sure, absolutely. So, as far as North Carolina is concerned, we were trending down. We had a little blip yesterday, so we'll have to see what happens with that. A blip one day, it could just be a few more tests being done, but we just want to make sure that we're not trending back up again. Up until yesterday, though, we were on definitely on the downswing, which is a good thing.
That is encouraging news, and I think that tends to be the trend at times of late. That it's certainly not as scary as it used to be on the numbers. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But still a lot of COVID news out there, things we need to cover. What's on your list, Dr. LaBelle?
So, one of the most important things that I wanted to cover was the fact that that there are a lot of asymptomatic cases, and that may be that we're testing more. So we're seeing maybe about 40% of people with positive tests are actually asymptomatic, completely asymptomatic.
About
Which in
40%?
and yeah, yeah. So on
Wow.
one hand, that's a good thing because what it's letting us know is that with this increased testing, we're seeing that the severity and of course the fatality rate is lower than what may have initially been said. So that's an excellent thing. And then on the other hand, we just need to know that because there is such a large number of people who are asymptomatic, that we really need to be careful with what we're doing still.
Right. Still need to maintain our level of caution and mask and whatnot. Is there a theory or any ideas why so many people are asymptomatic?
So there are actually several. So one of them is that these are just healthier people. You know that these are the healthier population who are going to be less likely to have, to have a more significant presentation anyway. And then there's the question about whether or not they have been previously exposed to a coronavirus. So this particular one, COVID-19, is what we're calling novel, in that
Right.
we feel that we haven't seen this before. But coronaviruses are, they're back in antiquity. It's the common cold, that sort of thing. So we're thinking that maybe just being exposed to certain coronaviruses in the past is giving you some sort of immunity in the present. And then the last is about the inoculum size. So if you're only getting a little bit, then maybe you're not
Mhm.
going to have as significant a thing. And that kind of leads into our next topic, which is masks. But we'll go into that in a bit.
Um, I heard on the radio that vitamin D is playing a part. That they have a theory that the vitamin D is helping a lot. So sunshine is
Mhm.
is is a big help. Have you heard that also, Dr. LaBelle?
Well, vitamin D is huge as far as all of the things that it's involved with in your body. It actually runs hundreds of different different activities in the body, and the immune system is one of the big ones. So gut health and immunity are both very very heavily tied to vitamin D. So if you don't have those good levels, you're not going to have the response that you want.
So sunshine's the free vitamin D. Do supplements help though? Would you advise if you can't
If
get outside?
Right. If you can't get outside, or if you're like many of us being indoors more often now because we're doing so much more virtually, then yes, make sure that you know what your vitamin D level is. It's a very quick test, and you can find that out. And then if you're below a certain level, speak with your physician or your healthcare provider about supplementation to get to a more substantial number, where that would be 40 to 50.
Okay, good to know. And your second topic, Dr. LaBelle?
And then my second topic was about the mass. So we were going to going to talk about about the inoculum size, and so there have been many many studies out there recently that not only is it valuable, but which type of mask is the best to wear. And so, as we might have thought, the fitted N95s are absolutely the best to have.
Mm.
But then the next, because those are really hard to get, a fitted one, not just one that you buy, in the store. But then the next would be a surgical mask with that polypropylene that's in there. Those are the best. And then the layered cotton masks that we're making at home, that many of us are making at home or can buy, are the next. And then way at the other end, where it actually might be a worse thing to wear versus not, are the neck gaiters. So they look,
Really?
yeah, they look really cool, but what we're seeing is that maybe what they're doing is kind of splitting the droplets into a lot of little droplets, and
Ooh.
almost worse than not wearing something at all.
So we're turning into a mist instead of a droplet.
Right,
Yeah.
right, which is
Wow.
easier to inhale.
I see so many of those. Now I
Yeah,
gotta, ah.
like exactly. Well, I mean, they do. I got to admit, they do look cool, but they're not really what we need to be doing. Yeah.
So Dr. Lovelle, just part three for me is I feel a little anxiety
Mm.
as we transition here, because it seems to me that we're going to be under this quarantine. You know, the numbers are coming down, but winter's coming. And it's a whole nother uh, layer of uncertainty because we don't know really when we can change our habits.
Mhm.
But my thought is that we're definitely going to be about where we are, being washing our hands, covering our face, being judicious with our activities outside, well into the spring of next year. Do you
At
concur with
at the rate we're going, I would say yes, unless we see more of that herd immunity faster. And as I said, that takes time. But
right?
where we have enough people who are immune or have contracted and have recovered, whatever, until we get to that level, then yes, we are going to have to be this careful.
Well, would this asymptomatic new number indicate that we're creating a herd immunity faster, and or that the other coronaviruses has given us at least some protection?
That's what the hope is, and that's what the
Okay.
scientists are looking at right now, like looking at these numbers and seeing whether or not this is actually the case, that these asymptomatic numbers are a good thing. And we're all tending to think that yes, they are.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Mhm.
Any last words you'd like to add, Dr. Lovelle?
Uh, I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're pretty good today. Yeah.
Well, let me thank you again. We really appreciate your expertise and time. It's a great comfort to have access to such a great healthcare provider. And Raleigh, just like to remind you that Dr. Lovelle also has a private practice, and she stands ready to help you. Please check out her website. And remember, all this and more is right here in your backyard. Shop local, support your local nonprofits, artists, and businesses. Thank you, Raleigh. See you soon.